every time.
Oh no.
Oh.
While we wait
No.
for our gracious host to arrive.
Okay. Hi, I'm Renee Rhodes. I will be playing Morning today. We both use she, her pronouns. And Morning is the daughter of the Morrigan. It's been a while since I've been able to join a game, so I'm very excited to hop back in and see what on earth is going on with us.
Alright, I am Hawkeye, or KY Hawkeye, and I'll be playing Finbar Udauta. He is also out of the Celtic Pantheon. He is the son of Ogma. And we're Morning's going to find out that we've not only having in-world experience, we're having underworld experiences with all of this, and it's going to be quite exciting.
Hey everyone, I'm Lynn, Shive, and today I am playing Dihiga, she, her, daughter of Inari, and whose current underworld is her pantheon underworld. So, also she's met up with her former mentor and is talking with her father. So, should be interesting.
Indeed. Hi everyone, I'm Simon, Wandering DM. I use he, him pronouns. I am the Fates for this game, and I'll just answer a quick question from Roller 300. Most of the characters, when you create them in Scion, you begin as like the mortal offspring of one mortal and one god, but you don't have to. Morning, for instance, wasn't created on Earth. It's weird because her mom, the Morrigan, is a goddess, but her father was a ghost, essentially. And so you can have these like strange origin stories. You can be fashioned from clay if you want. You can be like a Frankenstein monster that's been put together and then given sentience by like a god who took pity on you or what have you. But most of the time, it's basically like in Percy Jackson or American Gods, which is what inspired the game. It's, a human and then a deadbeat deity. Speaking of deadbeat deity, back in the garden of Sujobo's dojo, in Oninomachi, D gifted a box, which you've opened, and something was inside. We ended the game last time with like a close-up of your reaction.
Oh, Simon, you're coming in a little like garbled for me. I don't know if that's.
Wow, what the hell? Give me a second.
There we go.
Let's see.
There's gotta
Yeah.
be something, right?
Yeah.
It can't
Oh.
be a stream without.
Am I garbled like this?
No.
Not now.
No.
It happened right when you started the music.
Okay, sure. I don't know what's going on.
I don't know. Okay.
Might need to change.
It's better now. So.
I know that I have router issues. I need to change my router, and I might need to have to change my my mic at some point. But anyway, close up of your face. You saw what was inside. And inside is a mask. It's a strange type of kabuki mask, maybe, but it's not full face. It's just the top half. And it's been painted to look like a starry sky, like space, essentially. And then the view at the like outer extreme right edge of the mask, like the view of a planet. It seems to be Earth, but like a very young Earth. And it's even got, space debris flying around it. The painting on the mask itself seems to shimmer and maybe move, but it might also just be you. The thing that will strike Dee the most is the presence inside the mask. You have been for several years now able to sense spirits out of everywhere. This time, the spirit senses you. Whatever's inside the mask is way beyond yourself. And way beyond Inari. If you look at how they react as they gingerly and reverently pick up the mask, kneel and extend it to you, and says, "This, my last gift to you, daughter, is the mask of Takami Musubi, the mask of the second."
She will kind of like slowly like reach for it, and
The
then
question is,
I think when she touches it, I think she really senses what's different about it, and she kind of like pulls back a little bit, but then kind of like does kind of like hold it. It's like, what is this? Thank you, but feels odd.
for one, it feels heavy, but it's not the mask that has a weight. It's sort of the weight of the responsibility. Maybe you want to call it stress, I don't know. Of being the one with the mask. And Inari says, the mask of the second is all that is left of Takami Musubi after he created the universe. This is the essence. Captured, maybe. We don't know. I wasn't even there in the first place. If anything, this mask belonged to your great grandparent. On my side, of course. Go ahead.
And so
Wear
that's
it.
what I'm feeling when I hold this. What I can sense over it. That's what it is.
Yes. I never felt worthy to wear the mask. But sometimes I did open the box and look at it, but it always felt like it wasn't mine. It wasn't my prerogative to use it.
Wait, man, you think it's mine?
I don't. He points at the mask and says he does.
Whew. Well, that's
A lot of
quite a lot.
responsibility.
Yes. Yeah.
But come on. Put it on.
Yeah. She'll kind of like hold it, but she'll like do the thing where you kind of like look through the eyes a little bit before you put it, like, and just kind of like
The
and take a breath.
world. Yeah, the world looks completely different through the mask. Everything is in these shades of blue, hinging on purple, sometimes on like pinkish red. Everywhere you look. Mind you, you're in Oninomachi, so not everywhere you look at the moment, but practically everywhere you look, you do not see things anymore. You don't see people. You see their spirit. The box itself is no longer a box, but this short and stocky armored samurai is just looking at you. They have their arms like open as if they were holding something, and you took it from them, and they're just holding their hands up as if either waiting for you to give it back or close the arms in this case. Inari appears as a towering anthropomorphic kitsune with 9 tails, each one about like half your height. And all around him, there are these rice plants that grow, wilt, die, grow, wilt, die, grow, wilt, die. The rest of the city, you notice that most of the structures have stayed the same. But you can even see through some of the walls. You see Finbar and Morning and Kieran talking to the 2 Oni. And I'm going to throw a curveball at the players, to Morning and Finbar. If D can see your very soul, what color is it? Giant curveball.
I think it's like a pale orange.
I'm going to throw a knuckleball up against your curveball here. I'm going to say she sees kind of a plaid pattern on Finbar because of all the experiences he's now had as a mortal. When he thought he was just a mortal, the ones he's had as he's becoming more demigod, and all the stuff he's been exposed. He's been exposed to so many things. His soul now is made up of a lot of things that haven't really had a chance. He's really not had a chance to mesh them together yet. So and I'm not just going for this for the Pantheon appeal and all that.
No, but
right,
it's a cool.
But
yeah,
right now, his soul is very much a tartan plaid.
Yeah, well, you are the oldest of the 3 there, the one who's lived the most as a mortal. Mm-hmm. The Oni have no soul. You just see them. They're a bit shimmery, a tiny bit translucent, but barely. But they appear exactly as they appear to the eyes of anyone, even you not wearing the mask. So, the mask is on Legend Keeper. I'll send the link in our chat.
All right. Oh, I see it.
Oh, you got it? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
For everybody else, it's right there. All right. I'll summarize what it does because I had a bit of fun with it. First of all, it's got a power that is always on. Whenever you wear it, of course, you are going to see the world through this strange lens. And that's got to do with the other thing I'm going to talk about later. So long as you have it on your person, any momentum that you spend to create, repair, or modify an object will always be refunded, even if you fail or succeed the roll. So you basically have potentially infinite dice to create, repair, or modify, so long as you have, infinite momentum. In this case, our momentum is at 2, so like you could use those 2 dice, they would be refunded anyway. Now what the mask does is when you wear it, as you see the world in these, you see the world as the gods do, basically. That's the lens through which you see it. That's how they see things around them. And what it does is it's got 4, let's call them points, that you can spend to create anything you want. There's a list, like I've put a bullet point list of like things that can be done with it. They're generic, if only because, you know, like the one that says for each point you put in it, you can get like a +1 on a specific skill check. I mean, it depends on what the object you create is, right? When you create an object, you have to imbue 1 legend, and you will only regain that 1 legend after a day has passed. So I believe your legend right now is what, 8?
Think so. Yeah.
Okay. So you could theoretically create 8 objects in a day, and then you'd have to wait a full day and then continue, basically. But during that full day, you would have no legend to spend on
Anything else?
on anything else. So that might be a problem. But as you can see, you can even imbue an object with your own legend to make like a legend battery, if you will. You can also create an object that shares your purview, like one of your boons, and have anyone else be able to use it. It's boon, not purview. Anyone else can use it, but it costs them 1 momentum to use. So you could, for instance, create a lottery ticket that has your power of like winning $10,000 and just give it to someone, and that person, provided they have momentum, which eventually in life everyone gains some at some point and spends them. So even a normal mortal like an NPC would eventually win like $10,000 through this lottery ticket. The thing is, when you create the object, because you're not the primordial of creation, you're, you know, just using the power. So what you do is it works by borrowing pieces of all the spirits that surround you to fashion a new spirit. And that spirit in the physical world materializes as the object that you're creating. You don't need to make any roll to create them. It just works. The time to craft an object, the way I had it in mind is you can do it. It would take like your full turn in combat.
Okay.
So you could, for instance, it's weird, but I need a healing potion. You could craft one, but that would be the end of your turn. And then someone else could, you know, take it, use it. That is possible. The objects that you create are permanent unless they are destroyed. For instance, if you create a lottery ticket, it's a lottery ticket. It's not indestructible. If someone tears it into pieces, well, the pieces that you used of all those spirits to create that ticket will go back to these spirits. Which, by the way, what you take from them is so small a fraction of themselves that it doesn't hurt and it doesn't change the original spirit's like purpose or form. It's just you cannot generate that energy yourself because again, primordial of creation, but you can actually take what already exists in the world to do whatever you want with it. If you're on Earth or some other places like that, and you have the mask on, it might be hard to deal with people. Just saying, because they all look like weird shapes of colors. So just keep that in mind if you have it on, like, and you go back home. You might have some like penalties on like perception rolls and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
But that's what the mask does.
Ooh. Think about that. That's pretty rad.
It's yours to use as you see fit. Now I believe your friends are waiting for you. There's a commotion outside, and Inari looks over their shoulder for a second. Says, I have to go. We might see each other again. We might not.
Before you go, what should we do about... She'll point at the sky.
When it comes to it, when you get there, I know that you will make the right choice. I no longer have a say in what it does and how it affects the world. Not everyone thinks like this, but we left the mortal realm. It's no longer ours. It'll be yours and your friends to do as you see fit. But I know in my heart of hearts that you will make the right choice.
I hope we do too. Thank you.
Farewell.
I hope I live up to the responsibility that this has. And she'll turn away, but she'll look like, well, I see you again.
Perhaps. It's complicated. Just know that whatever happens, you were my favorite, and I'm proud of you.
She'll bow and then kind of, I think she's gonna actually just kind of like almost run into like a doorway just 'cause she's not entirely used to the thing.
If you look after bowing to Inari, when you look back up through the mask, Inari's no longer alone. There are like 12 vague shapes around them. They seem to sort of be beckoning to Inari. Not in a threatening manner, but like people were waiting for them. And he just... And then bam, you hit your head on yeah. So for Morning and Finbar, as you're talking to chatting these two Oni, who honestly are completely lost in the language you've used and the things you've talked about, and then all of a sudden you hear a pow as someone or something ran into a wall, and the two Oni go, "What was that?"
What was that?
Do we see D come out?
Yeah, I think I think she does the thing where she raises like the mask and then puts it back down. It's like,
Well, you. Emma wants to see you. Now can we go? Are you going to follow?
She'll look at the. It's like, how, I, yeah, we'll go.
Not paid by the hour. And they will escort you through the streets, where this time, I'll say people give you a wide berth, but they follow along. By the time you reach Mo's palace in the center of town, you have got like a full-blown parade in back of you of either curious onlookers. Some seem to follow you with a nefarious twinkle in their eye. Some of the Oni whose, nature is to steal or to misdirect or things like that. And they're like, trying to look for an opening. The sentries that were posted on the rooftops have also followed along. Some of the other like Tengus and flying Oni. But they've stopped a certain distance from the palace. And as the giant gates open into a courtyard, the other two Oni just go, "All right, you're here. Job done. Go in. The king's waiting for you. Bye-bye." And they literally just turn around and post themselves on each side of the door, as they should.
I look to the other two and say, why do I have a feeling that we're in the middle of some 1950s Knights and Castle movie and we're the wandering heroes that have been ushered to the evil guy's castle?
What were the 1950s like?
It was a interesting time. People, a lot of things that they tried to portray themselves as opposed to what they really were and stuff like that. I was a mere babe when it was going on. From what my mama told me, it was quite a adventure.
I see.
You'd probably enjoy it. Remind me to show you some realistic stuff from there sometime.
Sure.
I mean, well, we certainly had like no shortage of onlookers on the way here, so this would be something of some importance.
All right, as long as they don't start humming the wonderful Wizard of Oz as we go in, we'll be fine.
How are you feeling, Dee?
Okay. I mean, this thing is she'll like raise it up. It's like wearing a new pair of glasses, but I saw my father there and gave me this.
Was it good?
It's heavy, both responsibility wise and yeah.
Is he doing a complete
well, I mean,
passing on?
I mean, it's better than how Kieran met with his father. So
Yeah, I think a lot of things probably are, actually. It's a pretty low bar.
Yeah.
So what was happening? Was it the complete passing of the torch, so to speak? Or the baton?
Yeah. If that baton was like was a large, steel girder. Yeah.
I could carry that, I think.
If not, we're all friends. We can help you carry the burden.
Yeah.
That's what friends do.
Yeah. Well,
That was a much better way of saying that.
yeah, I'm still trying to figure it out myself, but hopefully we have time to. Hopefully whatever this is isn't the sort of thing where we're sent down into like a dungeon or forced to fight something, so.
All right,
I mean that's probably something that you would probably want, but it's not something I'm used to.
Well, shall we go see what this person slash creature slash creation slash whatever it is? Not with any respect. I'm just saying because I don't know.
Yeah.
Once.
Yeah. Let's go in before they send any more like ogres, and
Mhm.
they'll probably be even less of a good mood.
One of the two sentries just goes, I concur.
But we'll make your job easier. We're on our way in.
As you step through the courtyard, you'll notice the left and right sides are starkly different. On your left, thank you. No one sees my arms anyway. The trees, the grass, everything seems to be frozen as if it was the coldest winter on Earth. The other side is completely burnt out. The trees are petrified. The grass is ashen in color. Most of it is actual ash. There are scorch marks on some of the stones, and you're fairly certain that there's a wave of heat that strikes you as you walk, whereas the other side, the cold side, doesn't have any wind, any temperature coming off of it. But it's only the courtyard. It's only the sort of like giant garden that the king has. You're about halfway through this garden that the doors to the courtyard close. The main doors of the castle open. There are a few other buildings, basically like on each side of the garden. Forms like a U with like the castle in the middle. Some of the doors like slide open. You see like half a monstrous face of someone just curious looking and then sliding the door closed. The inside of the castle, at least from what you see from the garden, it seems a lot more inviting than Hell's abode in Helheim. There's light, there are candles, and it's actually a very nice sort of stone structure with the floor being all like cut stone, forming a, can't really see from here, but it seems to form like a mosaic in the entrance. And you notice like a few smaller Oni just going about their day. One of them is, cleaning the floor. One of them just whizzes past something in their arms. There's life, grotesque life, but there's life.
I think Morning is in this weird, like, semi very comfortable in an underworld, semi not comfortable because it's not hers. And so she's constantly trying to balance, like, respect for Dee and also being, like, a little bit anxious, a little bit on edge. And so I think the way that this has, like, manifested is that she is walking pretty closely behind Dee, but in, like, kind of beefy looking, like, she's not beefy. She's got, like, some muscle on her arms, but not enough to really, like, be threatening. And is just, like, but, like, is trying to make herself look big. Is not touching the sword. Doesn't want to, like, offend anyone. But is feeling pretty protective at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Do you keep going and enter the castle?
I think we have to, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
As you walk in, a very slim, almost pencil thin. Oh no, well, okay, that might be hyperbole. Um, Noodle-like creature approaches you. They look serpentine in feature. They stand about 4 foot high, and they, as clothing, the only thing that they have is this sort of black hat made of leather and skin, probably. I forgot to remind everyone, but if you don't, or if you weren't there, everything in Oninomachi is made out of other Oni's parts. The wood that you see is, if it's not imported from some other reality, it's probably like the piece of something that just grew, like the antler of a creature, right? So even the hat, even though it looks like leather and cloth, feels more like it's leathery skin and then just skin that's been treated. And they rise up to as tall as they can, like I said, like 4 feet, and goes, "The master wants to see you. Follow along. Come."
All right. Lead the way. We'll follow.
And it, even though it is serpentine in nature and feature, like it looks like a very tall, slim. Whoa, what's going on?
Hang on. I'll be right.
Okay. Even though it looks like a snake, it hops
Yeah,
away.
I've seen. Yeah.
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 And they bring you to. It's not the reception hall. It is not where a throne would be. It seems to be more like a private room. In it, Emma O. Giant, 4-armed humanoid, rippling muscles, with his hair being just this one like ponytail that goes up, has been like strapped up and then goes down to about like knee length. And he's, you all right? You all right?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Okay, cool. He seems to have been training or something. A little bit sweaty. It's a bit oily. You notice that the room has, seems to have like, there's a bed and some other like private area that's just separated by like a privacy walls, separators, except again made out of someone's flesh and bones. And the rest of his room has these mannequins. In total, I think it's 16. I need to count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yep, 16 mannequins. The ones you would use for training, perhaps, or maybe for archery, more than anything. They are propped up on these sort of poles or like giant bones, and then they've been fashioned around them. And each one looks, one, identical, two, broken. Like one of them, the head hangs low. Another one has, both the arms that are only holding like by a thread each. Another one has had like all of its stuffing pulled out. And MO, dabs himself with a towel before throwing it into the room, and it just floats there and of its own leaves the bedroom, flies above your heads. When he speaks, I can't do the voice. There are four voices talking at the same time, but they're all slightly delayed, one with the other. Yeah, it's a mess. Greetings, greetings, greetings. I was told of your arrival, divine child. And who in the hells are these three? Three of his arms point, each one to Finbar, Morning, Kieran. Well, speak. Who are you?
I am Finbar O'Dauta, son of Ogma.
You don't belong here.
I'm not intending to stay here, if that's any consolence to you. I am merely passing through.
He turns back to Dee, goes, Divine child. Does he speak the truth?
Yes, I am Dihiga, daughter of Anari, and my friend here, Finbar, does speak the truth. We meant no disrespect in coming here, but we had little choice, and do not wish to be a burden upon you.
Do not worry, you might not be yet. I was expecting you alone. I did not think you came with an entourage. No matter. He walks towards the like the on the other side of the separating walls, and he'll talk as he's doing something over there. Your coming here is fortuitous. I've been told that you have come along with a ship full of refugees, full of food. Am I wrong?
You are correct. They are refugees, and they are also under our protection as well, so they are our charges, so to speak.
And perhaps you will have a reason to agree to my demands. He walks out and he's now dressed in this like fine robe. It almost like reflects all of the light in the room, making it appear. The analogy might not be the best, but like a disco ball, basically.
Mm-hmm.
And it just shines here and there. All four of his arms are out, but the two bottom ones are just folded across his stomach, and just like holding, kind of gently holding his sides, or maybe holding the robe itself. It does not look like it's been made here or from things that live here.
I have a question.
Speak.
What does that? No. It, like in character. Is it the same with or without the mask? Like, what does it like? Is there what's the difference, if there is any?
With the mask, that robe is so bright that you can't even see him underneath it. It's just this, like when you have, when you see like auras around the
Yeah.
light,
Yeah.
it's kind of like that, but it's so
Yeah.
overwhelming. It's pretty much not exactly the same, but it's very similar to the feeling you had when you picked up the when you saw the mask the first time. Sorry, not pick it up, but when you saw it the first time, and your sort of kami detection just went all haywire.
Yeah.
It's about the same thing. Whatever this robe is, it's definitely magical and powerful.
Ah.
And probably way older than you or your divine parent are.
Mm-hmm.
Well, definitely older than D is. I mean,
Yeah. I mean, that's not hard. That's not exactly like.
yeah. For a god, it's yeah. He says, "My people have gone on without food for so long. It is a mere question of time before they realize that you have brought to my shores a complete buffet, a banquet for them. They will tear each other apart just to get a taste of the mortal souls you've brought. It is a good thing that I keep my sentries on a tight leash. If you want out, and if you want to protect your mortal refugees, you will need to do something for me." He sort of pauses and waits,
Mm-hmm. And she'll
tries to
nod.
gauge your reaction. Okay. Are you familiar with Jigoku, Divine Child?
This being my first time here, heard certain stories. Some obviously weren't exactly accurate, but not really.
The landscape of my realm is not known to be mutable. And yet it changed. Jigoku, and he approaches like the first like mannequin. The first puts his hand on its sort of like stuffed shoulder, whatever, like the bag, sort of bag container that is used as its chest. This is the first time that any change was brought to the 16 hells. And he motions to the 16 mannequins. One by one, they changed. And through this change, we lost all of our souls.
All of your souls?
We feed off of those who are confined to these hells. As they are purged of the wickedness of their lives, we feed on it. Delicious, succulent sin. Now they lie empty, forever changed.
When you say lost, what do you mean exactly?
Lost. He sort of almost like shouts it, and the walls of his castle tremble. I do not know where they went. They just... The two smaller arms just make the motion. The hot hells went cold, the cold hells went hot. nothing makes sense, and as the ruler of this realm, with all the power that I possess, I was unable to change things. You, however, are born of the divine. You do not have to play or abide by the rules of this world. And so you will help me and fix my 16 hell.
Do you have,
Or I will tell my people where your ship beaches.
we will help because your realm is broken. But as us being guests, I'll ignore the threat. Just because once they're gone, the problem will still be there. And you'll still need us to fix it.
Ever.
And we will only help as long as those that are under our protection remain safe. Does that sound like an agreement that we can abide by?
Agreed.
Good. Was there anything leading up to the loss of the souls? Was there anything unusual happen? Odd occurrences? Things like that?
A strange light in the sky. It ripped apart the clouds. Shone some hideous pale light. That was the first sign. I sent some of my sentries. They never came back.
Out of game. Do we see anything like that here, or is this something that's like not in the sky anymore?
Give me give me it's gonna be occult.
Okay.
Yeah, cunning occult. Let's go with cunning occult.
Phew, 1.
One success. You haven't seen it at all, but you the way he describes it, like he could have maybe seen the net, but he says that the light was, streaking across the sky and then split it, and it's not how you have seen the net so far, where it looked more like an aurora borealis type of light. This feels like a jet flew through the sky and basically just like split the clouds open type of thing. I don't think that throughout your adventures so far, you've talked to or seen anyone touch the net. He said he sent sentries to see, and they never came back. But you have no way to know in this instant. Like, is that something that the net does? I've been told, he continues, that you are blood of Inari, is what you said, did you not?
Yes.
Tell me, do you bear your parents' mark? How many tails do you have? He seems to relish the question, that there's some weird... I'm not going to say kink, but it sort of sounds that way.
How many do I...
It's
been
1
a
per
while.
point of legend.
Oh god, like
Oh, great. A deity with a tail fetish.
8.
8. Small number, but a lucky number. He looks satisfied by by the number you gave him, and turns back to the mannequin. Says, each of these will lead you to a gate, which will lead you to a hell. Cross the first, you will meet the second. Cross the second, you will meet the third. Cross the third, you will meet the fourth, and so on. Fix them for me. Bring them back to how they were. And I will let you leave. Better yet, I will help you leave. How about that?
Look at the others. Sound good?
That's better options than we've had in our previous stops.
Also a low bar. But
Maybe low bars, but we'll take them.
yeah.
Yeah. We agree.
Good. As you may know, these are my 16 helms. They are broken. And I'm gonna ask every one of you to please roll intellect or cunning, your choice, and empathy. I'm not going to repeat the whole thing again. So that's 4 successes.
Not bad for having nothing in empathy.
2 successes. And morning.
What was it again? Sorry, cunning and empathy?
Either cunning or intellect. Your
Oh,
choice.
either cunning or intellect. Okay.
Because technically, well, theoretically, whichever you have the highest, but you don't have to if you don't want to.
Yeah. Okay.
1. So morning might understand it less than the other 2. He's a broken record. It seems like he's going, and I'm not going to redo the whole thing, but basically for the 3rd time, he talks about the 16 hells and says that if you help, he'll let you leave and blah, blah, blah. There seems to be like just a a sliver of time in his conversation where, let's say he's himself, like he's in control. It almost feels like, well, for D, it's not an almost, it's a 4 successes, you know. Emma O is not only the ruler of Jigoku, but he's sort of like the representation of Jigoku.
Oh, so he's
With the broken
like,
hells,
broken.
he's, just as broken.
So to Finbar, it's more like he's skipping on the same scratch of the record over and over.
Yeah, with 2 successes, it's enough to know that like he's literally repeating himself.
Yeah.
Like with someone with let's say like onset dementia.
Yeah.
And there are like these brief moments of lucidity in between where he seems to be able to say something different. Like ask how many tails D has.
Ooh.
Or welcome you to his place. But the rest is the same speech. Well, the same speech. It varies in words and in sentences and in how he phrases them and places them, but it's always the same thing. I have 16 hells. They are broken. They need fixing, and I will let you go.
Yeah. Okay.
I've been told you were here. Take all of these, mix them up however you want, and that's what he repeats in various permutation every time.
Okay.
Well, do we start at the top?
Yeah, seems that
Or
way.
his reference to the 8 being a lucky number a clue for us where to go?
I think we they said that one leads to another, so maybe
Yeah, you have to start with number 1.
number 1. Yeah.
Finbar was being intellectual, trying to parse out a clue that maybe was or wasn't there.
Well, there's 16 hells, but they're grouped in groups of 2, like 2 groups of 8. So technically, you could start at number 8 if you want, number 9 if you wanted, and you would do 9 to 16, and then you would do 1 to 8. That you can. So he will explain that there are 2 gates leading out of the city where you will see these mannequins. And those are the gates you must take. And with that, he bows his head a bit. And the palace, Emma O, everything just fades away. And you find yourselves in the center of town again. Except this time it's just this garden that he had in the courtyard. There's no more structures around. But there's a crowd. A massive crowd of various Oni just circled around you, just watching intently. With bated breath. At what you are going to do, but we're gonna check that and we're gonna see that right after the break. Stick around, everyone. We're gonna go fix hell. we're back. Okay. So, the castle has disappeared. You are surrounded by a crowd of curious, for various reasons, Oni. Some of them you can see licking their lips, sharpening tusks. But the vast majority are just looking, waiting. Strangely enough, they don't have to hold their breaths. No one needs to breathe among them. So, what are you doing?
I mean, we should probably
All right.
get going.
So we head to this gate and get this little adventure, mini adventure started then.
Yeah, the sooner we can get to go where we're going next, and we can get our friends on the boat away from here.
Yes, last thing we need them to be is a bunch of Oni Happy Meals. Let's get rolling.
You don't know where any of these gates are. MO didn't tell you where they were in the city. He just said, look for the mannequin and you'll see the gate. So as you make the decision to find such a gate, let me ask, let's take like the 4 cardinal points, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which direction do you begin to head towards?
Let's go with the east first.
Sounds good.
You take 2 steps to the east and you hear the crowd just go. Some of them step back, kind of afraid what you just did. Scared for you, perhaps? And some of the less genuinely curious, some of the more nefarious ones that were now on the west side have sort of stepped forward. Instead of being, in the second, third row within the crowd, they're now front row. Looking at you, one of them is this. You remember the if I talk about the Hanya mask, that tells you something?
Yes.
Yeah. So one of them has like the same similar, basically just a human with horns, right? Metallic eyes, and also some very sharp golden teeth. He's waiting, sort of playing with his fingers as he looks at you. Another one is this corpulent Tengu, red of skin, long nose, with this sort of beard hair combo that's basically just, it makes sort of like a circle of white hair around him, around his head. Looking, waiting. Now all of this happened, you've taken like 1 or 2 steps towards the east.
But either we've done something good, we've done something horrid, or they're waiting for us to step on a landmine. One or the
I
other.
think maybe also they're just trying to see what happens. Us being not from here. And not many visitors. So.
Right.
You take another step east. The crowd again goes. One Oni, you think it's one of the 2 guards that were at the gates earlier? Faints. Shock. And the 2, the Hanya and the Tengu, break from the crowd and charge at you. Can you all roll just a single d10? The three of you, mind you, if Renee's still on the phone, I'll roll for her.
D10. All right, there we go.
I'm not on the phone, but I'm still trying to figure things out. But I can still roll that. What, a d10?
No worries. Yeah, just a single d10. That's a 1, that's a 3. Uh-oh. Unless it's a 10. Yeah, okay.
Oh no.
When the Hanya and the Tengu break from the crowd, the rest of the Oni that are on the east side where you were walking to, they immediately panic and run away, trampling each other, doing so. There's even one, like, if you look very quickly around in the chaos, one of them, as like a smaller Oni gets trampled, like, picks it up and is now munching on it as it runs away. The Hanya and the Tengu are definitely charging at you. Again, this would initiate combat. It being Scion, you guys get to act first.
Ooh. Can I reach inside my rice bag and just throw it, like, in front of them?
Yeah, you want to do the thing that
Like the
I
barrier,
don't
like
even remember.
like the repellent, like, barrier.
Yeah. Do you have the description of how it works?
Yeah, it should be here on the.
I got the
Where are you,
page.
rice bag? Terror of the guilty.
Yeah. A poster of the guilty. I should have freaking noted the page, but that's fine. Terror of the guilty. Yes. Is of a lower tier than you, cannot bear to be in your presence, flee and panic. Yep. You, they are not of the same tier as you. You being a demigod, you just throw this, like, line of rice, and the other two almost Scooby-Doo like try to break and stop their charge, scared shitless by the grains that you've scattered on the ground. And they back away. The Hanya is hissing. The Tengu shifts into a red crow and just flies away. Cheers erupt from some of the members of the crowd that were still, on the west side. The Hanya has basically, like, made elbows their way inside that cheering crowd. And at some point you just hear a crunch. And there's this arm that flies out. And then on the western side as well, there are now a bunch of Onis throwing themselves at each other, trying to get a bite of that Anya. But at least no one's looking at you for now.
I mean,
Shall we move? Tempest Fugit?
yeah. I feel we are pushing our luck with this. So let's try and find one of these gates and we can leave them alone. Or have them leave us alone.
Keep moving east.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
You keep making your way east until you hit the edge of town. Now it's a bit more labyrinthine than a straight line, right? There's no rhyme or reason to how buildings and streets are made in MMO, but not MMO, in Oninomachi. But there are no eastern gates to the city.
Mm-hmm.
You keep going along a wall, or along the wall, basically, for a little bit, and eventually, sort of what would have been northeast, kind of. That's when you notice your the first mannequin.
Mm-hmm.
There, kind of discarded, leaned up against the wall, like a broken training like training doll type of thing. Just there. It looks the exact same as the one that was in the palace. For the purposes of this, we'll say it's the one that had like the lolling head. The exact same. And if you look a bit further away, you can see there's another one. The one with the stuffing that came out.
Mm-hmm.
If you follow them, eventually you will reach a gate. A gate that is not outside of town. It's not like an outside gate. Like, it's not a gate to or out of the city. It just stands in the middle of this, let's call it a park, but it's what, like 20 feet wide. This one, you would notice that the grassy knoll is frosty.
Oh, again.
The like upper half of all of the blades are covered in rime. It melts away if you touch it. It melts away with each of your footsteps, leaving clear marks where you're walking, clear tracks. But it's there. It looks like the entrance to any Shinto temple.
Well, all right.
All right, so
Seems
we
like
see if we
we-
can find what's broken here.
Yeah. Hopefully it's not like as frosty as when we came here. So,
Yes, that's all I'm hoping.
all right. Well, no good's gonna happen if we just wait outside. So let's go.
All right, let's go inside. Then there's something I want to do once I know that we're inside.
All right.
This
You
particular hell.
step through the portal, and as you basically take your second step on the other side, you are no longer in the city. You are now in a cold plain surrounded by mountains covered in snow.
Well,
The
that's about right.
snow itself, on the ground where you are on the plain, there's about, I'll say, like 3 inches of snow. Like, it's like up to your ankle, basically. But the mountains all around you are these giant snow-capped mountains. It's reminiscent of the mountains in Nepal, for instance.
Ooh, those are big.
Yeah, like Everest size. And is that the one? Give me a sec. Yeah. And it takes about a minute for the snow to melt entirely. The ice caps on the mountains to turn into lava flows instead, as this sort of picturesque, perhaps, image of the landscape gives way to a hellish valley. Finbar, you said there was something you wanted to do, so we'll say
All
like
right.
during that 1 minute, as like everything melts and changes in front of your eyes. What is it that you want to do?
I want to enact one of my boons.
Ah,
I want to imbue a point of legend and enact Lay of the Land. And
yeah, remind me again what it does.
ask the story guide one of the following questions in a wilderness area, and that question is, what has happened here recently?
Okay, I'm not gonna be.
You're
I'm
not gonna be like it
mean.
melted.
Yeah, like that would be the mean answer, right? Well,
Yeah.
the snow melted.
The snow just melted, yeah.
You don't have to roll anything, right? You just imbue a point of legend.
Yeah, I just imbue a
that.
point of legend, yeah.
Okay. Okay. So yeah, as long as it's imbued, you would get that +3 enhancement on rolls in here. So you
Right.
can release that point of legend whenever you want, but when you do so, you'll lose the bonus.
Bonus of 0.3.
Um,
the +3.
what happened here recently? To quote Lin-Manuel Miranda, the world turned upside down. Almost literally. You know that conspiracy theory out of game? It says that like one day the poles on Earth will
Reverse.
invert and like everything will, as if the planet itself would flip over. That's kind of what happened here. What should have been a cold valley of perpetual winter turned to its complete opposite. That's what happened recently. The last big thing that happened anyway. It's... Well, technically it should be repairable, according to what Emma said.
Mm-hmm.
But the plane seems to go on, like the valley goes on forever. You don't see a... There's no curvature. You can see pretty fucking far. And it just seems to keep going. After that 1 minute, however, do you have the mask on or not?
Yeah.
At the moment.
I think he's trying.
On?
Mhm.
Then you would notice that the volcanoes on each side are actual volcano spirits.
Mm-hmm.
The lava flow that pours out of it, every bubble that bursts, every I guess it would be like a cup of lava, I guess. Let's say every like few ounces of lava is actually just tiny cheering spirits. It's a hellish landscape, and yet every single spirit here is cheering and feasting and partying. Well, not feasting, they're not eating, sorry. Yeah, cheering, partying. They're having the time of their lives. And they're not necessarily like, you remember when you first stepped into Jigoku, the cracks and everything seem to like almost like reach for you.
Mm-hmm.
In this case, it's not really that. Like, yes, there's lava and everything. It flows. There's eruptions, but it might take a while for the lava to reach you. Like, you are in absolutely no imminent danger whatsoever.
Mm-hmm. Interesting. I'll tell that to the group. Like, those aren't... Well... They are volcanics. Not just a volcano, but those... Everything. The lava, the mountain itself. Volcanic spirits.
Volcanic spirits, you say? Now, asking out to my own ignorance, would they be more likely to be native in another hell and they're here either visiting or they were pulled here and they're just living it up, so to speak? Or is all this conflict because of them trying to figure out a way back home?
Don't know, but I can ask them. I think D will yell out to the volcano.
Your voice echoes, booms out in this valley, and even some of the lava flow will stop dead in its track when it hears you. What do you ask? What do you say?
Are you native to this realm, or did you come from someplace else? If so, where?
The volcano... The mountain doesn't have a face, but its very being shifts to surprise. If you can surprise even a mountain. You can talk? Whoa. I didn't know you could talk. Um, yeah, no, I'm from here, you know, but I got friends over. Who invited you in? Like, who are you with?
I'm with the people that made this place.
Oh shit. Oh yeah, no, we hate those guys.
Mm.
And you notice the lava flow resumes, but this time quicker and with purpose.
And your friends, where'd they come from?
Ah, they're from the GM needs to check his stuff. Uh they're from the wow, Jesus. They're from the uninterrupted hell. Yeah. No? Doesn't tell you anything. Anyway, they're long distance friends, you know, but why are you asking all those questions? You some sort of work for the king type of thing? Or are you a fed? You have to tell us if you're a fed. Or at least the equivalent in Jigoku of what a fed would be.
No, we're more like, we're here to fix things. Things are out of sync here.
We're just vibing here. We're not hurting anyone.
To the contrary, you actually kind of are.
If you ask me, we were the victim. And now we're free, you know? That's why I invited my pals over. We're having a little fete to celebrate the fact that, you know, I can move, kind of.
Well, because what is happening, every hell is crumbling, broken. The underworld itself is fracturing.
They're seriously messing up the vibe of this place.
Well, the vibe is messed up here.
Oh, look at that. Miss Newcomer just telling us what to do here. Hey, look. Let me level with you. And the mountain shrinks a bit. I used to be frozen solid. I used to be forced to watch people walk by me and shiver and just be miserable, you know? And I couldn't do anything. Like, I didn't want to hurt them. But then these people working for the king, you know, they would force us to shed the ice onto them and to hurt them. And I don't like that. And then one time there was this flash in the sky and the temperature changed. And we're no longer frozen. We're free. You can't ask us to go back to nothing, you know? And we're not. You see anyone here being hurt? We're not hurting anyone.
You see anyone here at all? Besides us.
That's why we're not hurting anyone.
Isn't it quite unusual that there's nobody else here.
Yes, aren't the hells supposed to be have people in them?
Would you rather have people tortured and freeze and then start over? And we can't do anything, right, guys? And the other mountains sort of like rumble in the distance.
So you'd rather have your own home here crumble away and disappear into nothingness and you no longer exist?
Whoa, 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 no longer exist. Hey, we're mountains. We're not going away.
Even mountains can be leveled. Even forests can be cleared. Even lakes can be drained. Nothing is permanent.
Seriously killing the vibe now, dude.
It's my specialty, thank you.
We're. You know what? Do whatever you want. And the mountain sort of grows back to its original size. And gives you the cold shoulder. Like, imagine you're at a party, but the person is still right in front of you. They just decided to, like, cross their arms and turn around. Kind of awkward. But even the other lava flows, they seem to, whereas earlier, you know, they flowed freely, then they sort of shifted towards you. Now they're just spreading erratically all over the valley. No longer necessarily following the grooves in the mountains that they're used to slide down. That leaves you 3.
So when that light appeared, it literally altered the landscape.
Dee will yell and just say, what would you want changed with the previous agreement that would have things be how they were before, but still to your liking?
I'm not talking to you. Harsher vibes.
Well, too bad you are, so.
Whoa.
Look at that. You're saying.
I don't. Who are you anyway?
Daughter of Anari. I have a vested interest in making sure things continue so they can continue. And wanting to make sure that you continue despite your current circumstances. Because if this continues the way it is right now, the mountains will not be eternal. Far shorter than that. And who knows, maybe what happens after is worse. We don't know. That's what I'm trying to keep from happening. There might be hell for mountains, too, you know.
Let me huddle with the guys. And the mountain spews forth like a black jet of black smoke. And each one in kind does the same thing. They cover the sky. All light drains out of this hell, save for the glow of the now very confused lava spirits. Seems to take a while. There's lightning across the sky in those clouds. There's the distant sound of thunder, but there's no rain. There's no smell of ozone, nothing of the sort.
God, I didn't really think about how long it would take for them. Hopefully their deliberation is faster than time is at their scale, because I don't want to wait here for thousands of years.
You have a phone or a watch?
Yeah.
I pull out the board phone.
It
Yeah.
feels like you've been waiting for an hour. And yet, that wouldn't even. It feels like you've been waiting for an hour. The time on your phone didn't even change. Like, as demigods, you can go a long time without food, without drink, without sleep. It's especially in the underworlds because time is weird. But at some point, you start to get hungry. And the time hasn't changed. And you know it's not broken. Like, there's an internal clock in there. It should have. Like, if you start like your timer app, it's still like 0 second. There's maybe like 1 millisecond that happened. This whole thing. And eventually the clouds part. Resorbed. And the same mountain as before goes. Yeah, so some of us have heard about Inari. And like I told the others the points you made, and like we don't really agree. Because like we know you're not on the side of the king, but what about us? Why should we go back to work?
Because all this doesn't work without you. And you need everybody, including yourselves, need to fulfill their role in things, but I'm here to ask if there's anything that would make that better without having to have everything eventually grind to a halt and stop.
Oh no. Um. What would it look like?
I mean, it would have to be cold, but we could probably have visitors, people that take care of maintain the mountain while you are cold. kind of to basically look over what you want, your needs. So it doesn't necessarily have to be as lonely.
So, like, can I invite my friends from the uninterrupted hell?
Unfortunately, I don't think that they can continue to be here. They don't belong here. And I think their presence is maybe what is throwing things out of whack here.
You're gonna have to tell them. I don't have the heart to tell them that.
Tell
Like,
the
let me
lava.
talk with the other guys about the whole keeping us, like someone watching us. Yeah, I'll let you deal with the little guys because I don't want to. I don't want to be mean to them. So be right back. And again, clouds of smoke. The lava stops, and you hear just these tiny little voices. What's going on? What's going on? What's happening? Hey,
All right.
where'd the music go?
All right. Time to go home.
What? No!
Time to go home.
It's cool here.
Party's over.
We like the cool. Like a cool place.
Well, the cold place will not be cold as long as you're still here. If you stay here, there will be no party.
But if we go back home, we have to cook people alive. It sort of makes a stain on your soul, you know? Yeah. It's kind of harsh. I'm traumatized. They're not called hells for no reason.
No, of course
Yeah,
not.
it's
No,
like-
of course
it's like
not. Morning's face, though, very similar to mine.
Yeah, you try spending millions of years cooking people up. It's not fun. I mean, here we can shred the mountains. That's the extent of the snowboarding vocabulary I know.
Yeah, I think Deal
Well,
kind of crossed her
unfortunately-
arms and just kind of like,
If you stay here much
It's-
longer, there's not going to be any mountain left to shred.
Sorry, you were gonna say, D?
oh, I said D's just gonna be like, that's a tough spot for them. It seems unpleasant, but it is part of like spiritual cleansing process. Like souls are cleansed and then reincarnated, sort of thing. It's sort of necessary.
What? None of those little lava spirits have any idea what a soul is.
No, she's talking to like different.
Oh,
like,
to you. Okay,
she
okay.
just-
So
she just
okay.
kind of like, any ideas? Like, I mean, I got them this far. I'm starting to. I feel bad for them, but
Quote another famous lodge rock. You have to know your role. And that is their role, and it's an important. From what I take from this world, their role is important, if not vital, right?
Mhm.
May not be
Yeah.
a job that they like, but it's a very important one that has to
yeah.
happen.
Give me just a second.
And maybe get them to take pride in the fact of how good they are at it.
I guess that's a
I mean,
way.
I'm thinking in pure mortal ramifications here, but deities have been known to respond to such things,
Yeah, like,
only ever more so.
Yeah, like they're just, really, really harsh soul masseuses, Like you gotta,
Mhm.
in order for the soul to remain healthy, you kind of have to burn away the bad, that sort
You
of
have to
thing.
create a lot of heat to make a diamond.
Uh, I mean, that sort of works, but that kind of sucks for them. But maybe, yeah, maybe that could work.
Worth a shot?
Yeah. I hope it's not an internal thing of hell's where we have to convince things to work their shitty job.
Yeah. I
I
do
mean,
feel
I'm not
so
gonna
sorry for
create
them.
16 identical.
No, 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 no. I mean, like shit. I mean, like D. That's D thinking out loud. Like it's like, oh boy, it's like.
So we're now the human resources of hell.
Yeah.
But he did tell you that you have 16 of them to fix.
Yeah. So yeah, I think okay, we will maybe take that. We'll tell tell the spirits you're kind of massaging away the dirt and like the pain that they've amassed that keeps them from rejoining the cycle. It sounds bad, but it's something that needs to happen for their own health, for a soul's health. So, in the truest sense, you're helping them move on.
I like that thought.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, you're still talking with everyone. The lava can't overhear you. They don't speak English. I have to remember that they can't. Yeah.
They're just lava.
Yeah.
Just a little lava.
I just feel like D just talks to lava, just like, I don't know, whatever.
Okay.
Alright, yeah. Okay, hopefully that works. See, I'll just say that to the lava spirits.
Can you? I'm not gonna ask you to repeat everything again.
Yeah.
But.
I'm trying to kind of like show them kind of like what their place in as far as like
Yeah.
the great cycle of everything, and it's not actually as it's
Duty
not like they're not
versus-
it's also like they're not a punishment sort of thing. It's a part that they have to move
yeah,
on.
it's their role.
Yeah.
So I will ask for. You get to choose, right?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Either culture or persuasion.
Okay.
I would say manipulation, culture, or cunning and persuasion. No, sorry.
Yeah.
Cunning, culture, and manipulation, persuasion.
Okay.
And I'll remind you, you have 2 momentum if you do want to use
Manipulation
them.
and persuasion.
Feel free.
Manipulation and persuasion. Yeah. Okay. Yep. I think that should be. I have a decent amount of things.
Cool. You're gonna need
go.
3 successes.
Okay. That's we'll just do one. I don't want to like. I'll use one. Just we
But
need
you
a
can use the
lava.
momentum afterwards if you want.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it's a. You don't have to use it before.
Okay. Good. Oh God.
4 successes. Okay. They mull the question over.
Mm-hmm.
Like, when you put it like that, put it like that. Fine, fine, fine. Most of the lava retreats. Some little sparks, little flames, or puddles, like they try to cling to the side of the mountains, but already the dark clouds begin to clear, and you feel the temperature dropping. The mountain from earlier comes back and says, what kind of services will be provided?
I mean, we can send like some visitors in every so often that aren't being tortured to you know, make sure that the mountain's healthy. Pray to you. You know, keep you company, all that.
All right. Okay.
I mean, the king will have to abide by this, because otherwise you don't work, right? Right?
Yeah. It's kind of a we hold all the power type of thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, I like that.
All right, so we have a arrangement then.
The mountain doesn't respond,
Okay.
but you see snow begin to fall. Heavy snowfall on their slopes. The ground itself where you are begins to freeze over to the point where you feel the cold through the sole of your shoes affect your feet. It's reminiscent of the beach that you
Yeah,
landed on.
yeah, the cold
Yep.
beach. The
Very
cold
much. You know that the welts are coming, the blisters are coming, but
Better get moving.
Okay, it's uncomfortable now. All right. Well,
I'm
okay.
going to ask you something, Lynn, and we're gonna end this session as you fix, quote unquote, question mark, the first hell.
Yeah.
Can you give me just a straight legend roll?
That's just the how many legend
How
points I
many
have?
dots? Well, in this case, it would be current legend, so it's not how many dots you have; it's how many empty squares you have.
Okay.
And I am looking for, in this case, just one success,
Okay, let's do this.
and we can't spend momentum on it.
Okay. Do I just click on thing, or do I have to
You're
do
not going to be
mod?
able to click on thing. You're going to have to slash roll it. Yeah.
Oh, D10s. Okay. Yep. Me. Oh boy, that's.
That is 0 successes. You're missing a die though. You've got 4 left, I believe.
Oh. Oh, it's the
I know.
dots that we have. What?
Yeah, it's so you have 8.
Oh, because
legend.
I've used up a bunch of legend. I think I've been slowly bringing them back up.
Ah, okay. So
Do I
you only
still-
have 3 left, right?
Yeah.
Okay, you used 4 of it. Okay. The world shake. The ground cracks, and a deep voice that you recognize as the voice of Emma O. Says, I asked you to fix hell, not change it.
Well,
Do
they
not
weren't gonna do it otherwise. I mean, I can always have it turned back, and we can figure out some way else to get out of here while your kingdom crumbles.
Ooh, I'm gonna go with like make resolve persuasion. That you're intimidating the king of hell. Like,
I'm tired of all these. I'm tired of these hells. It's like,
Yeah.
resolve.
fix it, not change it. Bleh.
Wait, so where's that? Where's that on the?
Resolve
there
and
it is.
resolve and persuasion.
Okay, there we go. I was looking for its resolve.
Oh wow, we're just looking for that 4 successes.
Nice.
5 successes. Sorry, 5 successes. And this is like if you want to use momentum after word, you can.
Persuasion. All right.
Ooh, that's a lot of ones. You still have 2 momentum in the pool.
All right.
Theoretically,
Use them.
Okay.
theoretically, if you score a 10 on one of those, it's feasible.
Where's dice? There it is. Nah.
That's 3 successes. With no more momentum, actually 1 point will go back because it's a failed roll. Yeah, because the legend from earlier didn't give you any because it's not a momentum thing. He says, watch it. You are not in Oninomachi. I could send my people get your food. The food you've left on the beach. You would not have time to react. I will not tolerate another affront. Fix my hells. And the cracks closes back up.
A bit touchy,
She'll
isn't he?
stick her tongue out at the direction of thing.
Yeah, fair.
He wants us to fix him, then he doesn't like
Yeah,
our
fuck
repair
that
work.
guy.
He should have hired somebody else.
Yeah.
I don't see his ass marching in here.
Can the 3 of you one last check for an out of character thing? Well, out of character thing. This is not an NPC talking to you, but can you give me intellect and occult?
And a cult.
Yeah, and your specialty of Kami, of course, D would apply because
So what's that do again? To give like an extra dice, or what's that?
it's an extra success. So as
Oh,
long as
extra
you score at
success,
least
okay.
1 success.
Oh, okay.
Worth asking, I have a specialty for the dead. Does that apply here?
Yes, it would.
Hell yeah. There we go.
What is a specialty again? Is it one
It's
extra? or-
1 extra success. So as long as you have 1 success, then you get a bonus 1.
Great.
Would my +3 bonus
There you
for the
go.
lay of
Holy
land,
shit.
that would not apply here.
Yes, it would apply.
It would apply. Okay, so +3 to whatever I get for here.
Yeah. All right, so that's 3, 5, 3, plus 3. Okay, so that's 4, 6, and 6. You sort of pick up on something as the king of hell of Jikoku makes his threats, is that he can't change the hells.
Ha!
Like, he can't even bring them back, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
You have the power to mold them as you want.
Yeah.
He only seems to pick it up when you're done. Out of game, what this comes down to is each time you fix, or I'll say each time you fix a hell, it doesn't, not the way he wants it, right? Or each time you attempt to do so, the number of successes is going to increase. So if you want to modify all 16 hells, I mean, the last one will need 16 successes. It's kind of hard. But if you succeed, so next time you try it, it will be 2 successes, and then 3, and then 4, and 5, like that. And it always depends on your legend. And whatever it is that you do while you're there, right, that can impact it. You can remake anything that you want so long as you don't get caught. you don't have to fix them. It's sort of what your occult roll kind of picks up on is it's basically like if someone had unplugged the computer, you can change all the parts you want in it.
It
It's
just has to
only when you
run.
plug it back in that MAO can see what you've done. But the thing is if you're good enough, he's not even going to realize that you've swapped parts. Now this time, evidently you failed. But it doesn't mean that that's what's going to happen
Yeah.
the other times.
So literally,
well,
we can literally remake hell in our own image. So to
Yeah.
speak.
Well, you know what? That gave us a thing. Now we're mad at him, and now we can do.
Yep. And I'll remind you that you have theoretically an infinite legend battery.
Yeah.
But that's where we're gonna end.
God, maybe we can use maybe we can have Morning yell at him at some point. Another thing.
I could do that.
'Cause,
Yeah.
I mean, like.
I
You've
could
seen
enter
you,
debate.
a Morning's seen better run hells than this, right? You know.
Yeah, probably. I don't.
I mean, theoretically,
Morning, you
Morning
can
is
fucking-
appalled.
Yeah.
Morning, you can play
Guardian
OSHA
was-
against him on how his hells are run.
Yeah, like the place Morning is from is technically serves the same purpose as the 16
Yeah.
hells.
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe you know what? We'll try and take the best part. You know, we'll consult with someone else that also who probably knows better than what he's doing. He doesn't really know.
But then again,
the fire
not
aspects
knowing what you're doing, like you start fresh. You don't know what was there before, or
Yeah, we just have to know. We just have to know the basic function that keeps it running. We just have to figure what that is.
Now, what are
Money.
the odds that we fix 2 hells in one shot by sending those other volcano?
guess what? It only fixed the first one.
Yeah, they probably have some issue. They probably have some issue.
It was worth asking.
Yeah, I know. Some of them you might hit like 2 birds with 1 stone. But in this case, sending them back, they're going to cause trouble at home instead. You know,
House flipper underworld.
kind of, yeah. So
Extreme Makeover Hell Edition.
Oh.
yep. That closes
Thinking
Thinking
our.
like, what was it, the Hit My Ride, where they put weird shit on the car, and the person that owns it's like, I don't know.
You're
I
gonna put an
just wanted-
Xbox in hell.
I just wanted a car. I just wanted my car to be not as shitty. Why is there all this stuff on top of it now?
So D is now Underworld exhibit. Okay.
I don't know.
Everyone, thank you so much for coming today. Players, I'm gonna give you the mic. Tell us who you are, where we can find you, all that good stuff. We'll start with, I don't remember who did their intro first. So let's start with Morning.
I did. Perfect. Hi, I'm Renee Rhodes. I've played Morning today. We use she, her pronouns, and it has been fun. Sorry for the distractions, but I appreciated being here. You can find me on Twitter at RayDNR. Haven't been around there as much lately just because life has been weird, health has been weird. I'm also trying to reinvigorate my Instagram, though, on which you can find me at RayDN. Just same as Twitter without the R. Okay, I think that's it for me.
Cool. D.
Oh, hey everyone, I'm Lynn, Gremlin Art, pretty much everyone's social. You can find my art there. All those places like Kara, Blue Sky, all those other places. And you can catch me probably next on actually tomorrow on Practical Earth as Reporters channel. It's gonna be our week for the Dark Ages Vampire, where it's the upper class vampires turn thing, and it's probably gonna be very destructive. Everyone's a mess. And on Tuesdays, back on this channel, it's gonna be the hopefully back here with the with more of our Batman list, Batman campaign. It's gonna be Gotham. We've got some 3 heroes just kind of like got a job to go to Carnival, right? Carnival, right? Yeah.
You have to
And
heist the carnival. Yep.
heist a carnival, yeah. You have to, in order to fix things, you kind of might have to do some crime. So there we go. We'll see. Is it crime Vigits you're doing another criminal? Who knows? We'll see.
And last but not least, Finbar.
All right, I'm Hawkeye, Kentucky Hawkeye. You can find me on that name on some of the different social media outlets out there. You can catch me next time. Normally, I would be on Saturday night at 8 p.m. for Grappler's Keep, my WWE 2K24 universe, where number of characters compete in a ring that we call the Dice Tray. My next showing is going to be our next premium live event, the Tavern Brawl, our version of Clash in the Castle. However, I am slowly recovering from COVID, and since this would be like a 3 to 4 hour stream because of all the matches in there, I don't feel up to that yet, so that'll probably happen next week. Then the regular schedule would be Monday is my daughter and I for Family Night Emporium as we're completing a game called Doors Paradox. It's a puzzle solving game. We've been having our fun working our way through that as we try to solve the puzzles and pet the cat. So we'll hopefully be able to do that on Monday. Then Wednesday, hopefully, will be the return of my escapades in Baldur's Gate 3, The Legend of Bende Mustaine, my old Dragonborn, Paladin, who is leading his team through right now. We're in the city, and I think we're headed. Right now, we're trying to escape the House of Hope so we can move on, so we can try to take care of other things. So hopefully, my health improves enough so I can be able to do all of those. Otherwise, I will be back here next Saturday as we try to fix hell. Otherwise, you can catch me on Etsy at my Etsy shop where I make custom GM screens for people and stuff like that. You can catch me there as well. Otherwise, that's it for me.
All right, and I'm Simon At Wondering DM. Thank you everyone for coming. Thank you everyone who hung out in chat. Thank you for the follows, the subs, the everything. You can find me again on Tuesday for Gotham City Chronicles and the heist that will unfold, as strange as it seems. And next Saturday here again for Pimp My Hell, I guess. All right, we're going to get going. Thanks everyone for coming. Have a good day. Good afternoon.
Bye.